Get ready for a wild ride through the tangled web of politics and immigration. In the red corner, we have Mayor Eric Adams pointing fingers at Texas Governor Greg Abbott, accusing him of stirring up New York City's migrant crisis. But hold on to your hats, because Governor Abbott's not backing down, firing back with accusations of his own, claiming Mayor Adams's sanctuary city policies are making matters worse. And who's lurking in the shadows, pulling the strings? None other than President Joe Biden himself, with his secret flights of 33,000 migrants directly into New York City. That's right, folks. While the blame game heats up between local and state leaders, it's the city taxpayers left footing the bill for this immigration debacle.
He told me that ICE has been releasing migrants with misdemeanor criminal records, including assault, DUI, drug possession, and illegal reentry.
So buckle up and join us as we delve into the murky world of politics, immigration, and the taxpayer burden in the Big Apple. And hey, if you want to stay up to date on all the latest twists and turns in New York City's immigration saga, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Welcome to our channel. Let's delve into the migrant situation in New York City. In recent years, there's been a significant surge in people arriving here, with numbers reaching tens of thousands. Reports indicate that approximately 37,000 individuals were transported from Texas, while an additional 33,000 were directly flown in from foreign airports. Now let's talk finances. The city is grappling with the hefty cost, amounting to millions of dollars. And guess who's bearing the burden? Yes, it's us, the everyday New Yorkers. Some 37,000 of New York's estimated 150,000 migrants, or 25%, were bused from Texas. This surge has ignited a fierce debate among local and state leaders, each pointing fingers and seeking accountability. However, amidst the political discourse, it's the ordinary citizens who feel the brunt of the impact. The migrant influx affects us all. As discussions continue, one thing remains evident. The migrant crisis in New York City is a pressing issue, and its repercussions are deeply felt by the community.
The federal government has apparently been moving illegal immigrants all around the country in the dark. Take a look at that body cam video right now.
One of Biden's flying immigrants was a Haitian man, Corey Alvarez, who was recently accused of raping a developmentally disabled teen girl. The administration reportedly authorized him to fly directly from Haiti to John F. Kennedy International Airport as part of the Immigrant Flights Program. In the ongoing debate between Mayor Adams and Governor Abbott concerning the migrant situation, tensions have reached a boiling point. Mayor Adams hasn't minced words, directly criticizing Governor Abbott and even challenging him to spend a night in one of NYC's migrant shelters to better understand the city's challenges. This bold move showcases Adams's frustration with Abbott's perceived lack of comprehension. Governor Abbott, however, hasn't remained silent. He has fired back, attributing blame to NYC's sanctuary city policies, arguing that they exacerbate the migrant crisis by fostering an environment that is overly welcoming. This exchange illuminates the intricate dynamics of political responsibility and the tendency for blame shifting in public discourse. While Mayor Adams holds Governor Abbott accountable for the influx of migrants, Abbott deflects responsibility for NYC's policies, resulting in a stalemate in addressing the underlying issues. Ultimately, it's the residents of NYC who bear the brunt of these political disputes. They are the ones left grappling with the consequences of the ongoing argument while seeking viable solutions to the migrant crisis. President Biden's role in the migrant situation cannot be overlooked. His administration's policies and actions have directly impacted the influx of migrants into New York City. Biden's executive orders, particularly those expanding admissions for asylum seekers, have played a significant role in shaping the current landscape. By signaling a more welcoming stance towards immigrants, these orders have arguably encouraged more individuals to seek entry into the United States. including through routes that lead them to New York City.
You trying to figure out what this is?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Adams seems to place the blame squarely on Abbott for New York's issues, but in reality, Biden shoulders a significant portion of the responsibility by not enforcing border laws effectively. This lax enforcement has led to an overwhelming influx of illegal immigrants into Texas and other southern states, exacerbating the problem. Adams appears to overlook Biden's role in allowing these flights to continue, flights that could easily be halted with a simple phone call from the president. Instead, he chooses to focus on Abbott as the scapegoat for Gotham's problems. According to DHS reports, over 386,000 immigrants have been approved for flights directly from foreign airports into the U.S. since the program's launch in January 2023, without congressional authorization. Originally aimed at Cuban, Haitian, Nicaraguan, and Venezuelan nationals, the program has since expanded to include 5 other nationalities, referred to as the CHNV program or the Advanced Travel Authorization Program. It operates through U.S.-based sponsors applying for air travel permissions on behalf of aspiring illegal border crossers who provide their information through an online program and mobile app called CBP One. The implementation of technology like the CBP One app has streamlined the process for aspiring illegal border crossers to apply for air travel permission. This technological advancement, while intended to facilitate legal immigration processes, has inadvertently contributed to the surge in migrant arrivals, including those landing directly in New York City. In addition to the flight program, a parallel initiative has facilitated the entry of approximately 420,000 individuals from 100 different countries through 8 land ports in the past year. Both programs rely on a legally contested interpretation of authority granted in the Immigration and Nationality Act. This authority allows a president to grant temporary humanitarian parole to immigrants during emergencies on a case-by-case basis. However, this administration has notably broadened the application of this restricted case-by-case parole authority, admitting significantly more foreigners than any previous administration. The combined total exceeds 800,000 individuals admitted through both land and airports using parole, aimed at mitigating the optics of large groups crossing the border illegally at once. Overall, President Biden's policies and the technological infrastructure put in place by his administration have had a tangible impact on the migrant situation in New York City. As such, his role cannot be ignored in understanding the complexities of the crisis. President Biden's measures aimed at streamlining immigration processes have inadvertently contributed to the influx of migrants into cities like New York. The expansion of asylum seeker admissions, for instance, was intended to provide relief to those fleeing persecution and violence in their home countries. However, this policy shift also signaled to potential migrants that the United States was adopting a more welcoming approach, potentially incentivizing more individuals to embark on the journey northward. Similarly, the implementation of technology like the CBP One app was designed to modernize and expedite the immigration application process. While this technology has undoubtedly improved efficiency for legal immigrants, it has also made it easier for aspiring illegal border crossers to navigate the system. The accessibility and user-friendly nature of such tools may have inadvertently encouraged more individuals to attempt entry into the United States, including routes that lead them to cities like New York. In essence, while these measures were implemented with the intention of addressing immigration challenges and improving processes, they have also contributed to the surge in migrant arrivals in cities like New York. This unintended consequence underscores the complexities and interconnectedness of immigration policies and their impact on migrant flows. The administration has undertaken these efforts without coordinating with Adams or other major city mayors, nor with taxpayers who bear the financial burden of accommodating hundreds of thousands of arrivals. Biden's administration has deliberately concealed details regarding where and in what numbers illegal immigrants are being flown. This determination to keep information hidden from the public was evident when a 2023 Freedom of Information Act request from the Center for Immigration Studies was denied. Moreover, the administration has obscured basic program details in its monthly border statistics report, presenting the section on the CHNV program without mentioning immigrant flights, air travel, or airports. Utilizing available public records, it was discovered that Florida, under Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, is the primary initial landing zone in the country, with approximately 326,000 arrivals through February, distributed across the state's numerous international airports. Additionally, around 33,000 flights have arrived at New York area airports. DeSantis expressed frustration with the lack of transparency, highlighting that state and local authorities are not informed about arrivals. He suggested that many arrivals in Florida might then continue onward to cities like New York after being processed through U.S. Customs, potentially inflating the number of arrivals in Gotham beyond the reported 33,000. The migrant crisis has had a significant impact on New York City, both financially and socially. The estimated $12 billion cost underscores the strain on city resources, including housing, healthcare, and social services. Mayor Adams has been vocal about the need for federal assistance to address these challenges, advocating for additional funding and support. In response to the crisis, Mayor Adams has also supported expedited work permits for asylum seekers, recognizing the potential contributions they can make to the city's economy. However, he has also expressed criticisms of federal policy without directly challenging President Biden, navigating a delicate balancing act between advocating for his city and maintaining political alliances. Despite the complexities of the situation, Mayor Adams remains committed to finding solutions to the migrant crisis and alleviating its impact on New York City. His efforts to secure federal assistance and support for asylum seekers reflect his dedication to addressing the needs of both migrants and residents alike. The migrant crisis in New York City carries significant implications for urban management, national immigration policy, and the broader political discourse surrounding these issues. The influx of migrants strains city resources and services, highlighting the need for a more equitable distribution of migrants across the country. Additionally, it underscores the importance of comprehensive immigration reform at the national level to address underlying causes and provide sustainable solutions. Potential solutions to alleviate the burden on cities like New York include increased federal support to cover the costs associated with housing, healthcare, and social services for migrants. Additionally, policy reforms that streamline the asylum process and provide pathways to legal status could help address the root causes of the crisis and reduce the strain on local governments. Addressing the migrant crisis requires a multifaceted approach that involves collaboration between federal, state, and local governments, as well as stakeholders from various sectors. By working together to implement effective policies and support mechanisms, we can mitigate the challenges posed by the migrant crisis and build more inclusive and resilient communities. In wrapping up, let's face it, tackling the migrant crisis in our current political climate is like trying to untangle headphones, frustrating and often tangled in partisan knots. But here's the deal. We need to ditch the blame game and start jamming to the tune of bipartisan solutions. So let's get real. It's time for policymakers to put aside the finger-pointing and work together on clear, compassionate policies. We're talking about policies that don't just slap Band-Aids on the problem, but address the root causes of migration while supporting both migrants and our cities like the Big Apple. But hey, this isn't just about politics. It's about people with real stories and real needs. So let's spark a conversation that goes beyond politics and focuses on finding genuine, sustainable solutions. And hey, if you're vibing with this message and want to stay in the loop on all things migration and policy, hit that subscribe button below. Let's keep the dialogue going.